Okay, what's up, everybody? Hopefully, we're live. Audio's good. Um, okay, good. We're here. Thanks for waiting. I wanted to restart the computer too before in case, so make sure we have the audio is good. We don't have any kind of sync issues. Sometimes we have that audio sync thing. So apparently, opening arguments statements was today, and I didn't even realize honestly. I knew that it was coming at some point, but Allie had DM'd me and she's like, "You're not covering the opening statement." I was like, "What?" So we're gonna watch that. And for the people that don't know, they're not streaming the trial. Like we're not gonna see the trial. They are only showing the opening statements, closing arguments, and I think like the sentencing or the verdict or something like that. So that's all we're gonna watch. What I thought might be a good idea to do is I was thinking one of these days for the people that are interested. I mean, we'll see if there's any interest. You know, sometimes you cover something nobody really gives a ish. you know, but I was thinking I could do the probable cause since we're not going to be able to watch the trial. At least I can go through the probable cause. It's about 7 pages long. Somebody sent it to me the other day, and kind of fill in maybe some of the gaps as far as the story. Good afternoon. What's up, man? What's up? The neighborhood. Sandra, Tammy, Claire, Luna. Hope you guys are doing great. Natalie, Christy, neighborhood. Kitty. And make sure you subscribe to the second channel as well if you're not. Um, because we're doing all kinds of other stuff there as well, like chases and manhunts or whatever else, whatever pops up. Some of the war stuff, which I think I want to jump on later if I have time to catch up on that a bit. So, all right, let's start. Oh, and by the way, before we even do this, just if you don't know, I'm just going to touch these little points up here. So, yoga teacher. And when I read that this woman was a yoga teacher, part of me inside was like wondering if she's into veganism. Because yoga people are usually really like in touch with themselves and their spirituality, and they're all about the earth and nature and being in tune with each other and breathe in and out and sense yourself and balance yourself in your core and your nature, and then kill somebody and murder somebody because you're jealous. Well, they're having an affair, supposedly. That's what they say, they're having an affair. And sometimes too, yoga runs, I don't know if it runs hand in hand with vegans, but sometimes they're, I can't say obviously not all of them, but I was trying to find it, but I didn't see anything that said she was a vegan because I wanted to add a little bit of fuel to the fire because people always get offended when I mention it. So I couldn't find that she was a vegan, but anyway, yoga teacher hunted by cops told friend that she was going to kill pro cyclist for having affair with her boyfriend, who hid her number in his phone and lied about meeting her on the day that she was murdered. Okay. So yoga teacher Kaitlin Armstrong, 34, told a tipster that she was so angry she wanted to go kill a pro cyclist. She was Maura Wilson. Wilson was 25. She was found dead with gunshot wounds in an East Austin apartment in May, where she was staying with a friend before competing in a race. Wilson had a fling with Armstrong's boyfriend, Colin Strickland, during a break in their relationship last October, which Armstrong found out about in January. After Armstrong discovered the fling, she reportedly contacted Wilson several times, even called her to tell her she was the one who was dating Strickland. Strickland changed Wilson's name in his phone so that Armstrong wouldn't know who he was chatting with so they could continue their relationship. On May 17, a gun found in Strickland's residence was test fired, and police say it had significant potential that that gun could have been used in the crime. Surveillance footage also shows her SUV driving past Austin's apartment after Strickland walked Wilson home. A lot of people were dubbing this like a love triangle, even though, I don't know, love triangle would have to be, I thought it would be consensual, no? Or can it be non-consensual? Just because you're cheating on somebody doesn't mean it's a love triangle, does it? I don't know why it's being dubbed a love triangle. A situation where two people both love a third person. Okay, so maybe that could be a love triangle then. Yeah, okay. I thought it was like a consensual, I don't know, thing. Armstrong has now been charged with Wilson's murder and is on the run in Texas, where marshals have issued it. Well, she was on the run. They caught her. This is an article from like last year, but they caught her ass. And she actually, so she went to like, I think it was Costa Rica. She stole, I think, her sister's passport because I guess they somewhat maybe look close to each other, look like somewhat each other. And so she stole her sister's passport. I think went to Costa Rica. When she got over there, this chick went and got facial surgery, I think, to try to look like her. Anyway, they caught her ass, they deport her ass, they bring her ass back. And when she comes back, she makes a run for it again. There's a video where she escapes. Kaitlin Armstrong. She escapes prison, or jail over here. Which my reaction was, I don't remember which live stream I did it on, but I reacted to her escaping. It was so like almost kind of funny, comical. Let me see if I can show you guys for the people that haven't seen it, and they will watch the opening statements. Let's see, can Armstrong escape? I need to. I kind of wanted just a raw video. I don't really want commentary on it. Here it is. Maybe this was it. Here. So let me get myself out of the way. Oh, I'm out of the way. Okay. By KXAN, it's over here. Show accused killer Kaitlin. And this person, I don't know what kind of security they got over there. This person running, busted their ass right here. Accused killer Kaitlin. And Kaitlin hauling ass, that yoga energy, that vegan energy. But not enough. Though. That's the problem. That's why you got to eat beef, because you can't climb the wall. So she's struggling. Lord Almighty, that's what you're hauling for her life. It all happened around 8 this morning as Armstrong was being escorted from a doctor's appointment. And this comes after Armstrong's success. What's the rest of it? The charge or just stop inmate. There you go. Gonna have an inmate uniform, black and white standard. So she tried to scale the wall but couldn't scale it.
Seems like so ludicrous, you know?
Somebody on the loose for 10 minutes. A lot of things could have
happened.
It's crazy situation.
If she
escaped inmate.
And on the run again today.
A lot of things could have happened.
I can't stand with these news people. Just play the effing video.
As situations like this have bigger impacts during sentencing, regardless of.
There's a longer version because she starts running around the tree and stuff, and the person's trying to catch him. Let's see, this showed over here. There it is. Here it is. I found it. Okay. They give like a little 2-second preview, and then they keep interjecting.
News tonight, escape causing
actions on McKay scaling a wall at one point. Take a look at this. The Travis County Sheriff's Office says Armstrong made a run for it.
Trying to jump over, she can't jump. The woman falls over again twice. She already fell over once. Then she falls again, man. They need to get some sort of regimen over there. And then she's looping her ass around the tree. Loop-de-doo. Oh, and they took it back.
She already slipped out of the country once before when she fled to Costa Rica. Now, these new charges we were just telling you about now, 30th.
I don't know if that's a full video. These people can't help themselves but keep interrupting the thing. Anyway, let's get started. So this is the opening here. I think it might be no audio for a bit. Let's see. The audio might not have been too great. I'm going to have to enhance the audio. Let's see if she walks in.
We have taken care of that part of our responsibilities as far as your oath. And I extend the greetings to you on behalf of all the parties. In cause number D1DC 223011129, you're now being present. The state and defense haven't announced ready for trial. State, you may begin with the reading of the indictment in this cause.
In the name and by
Oh, Lord.
The grand jury, the county of Travis, state of Texas, duly selected and panel sworn charged and organized as such.
And nothing.
Term 2022 in the 331st Judicial District Court for said county. Upon its oath presents in and to said court at said term, that Kaitlin Armstrong, on or about the 11th day of May 2022, and before the presentment of this indictment in the county of Travis and state of Texas, did then and there cause the death of Anna Mariah Wilson, an individual, by shooting the said Anna Mariah Wilson with a firearm. And it is further presented that Kaitlin Armstrong, on or about the 11th day of May 2022, and before the presentment of this indictment in the county of Travis and state of Texas, did then and there, with intent to cause serious bodily injury to Anna Mariah Wilson, an individual, commit an act clearly dangerous to human life that caused the death of Anna Mariah Wilson by shooting the said Anna Mariah Wilson with a firearm against the peace and dignity of the state, signed by the foreperson of the grand jury.
The defendant will please rise. To the allegations as read by state in paragraph 1 of the indictment, how do you plead? To the allegations as read by the state to paragraph 2 of the indictment, how do you plead? You may be seated.
That's her right there. You can barely hear them. I hopefully, I'm pretty sure once they start doing the opening that they'll actually get on the microphone. She got her hair did, her facial.
Does the state have an opening statement to make at this time?
Got moisturizer on.
You may proceed.
Oh my God, that's the audio? Oh, I'm gonna have to like boost it.
This case is about Anna Mariah Wilson. Everybody calls her Mo Wilson. Mo was an accomplished college skier from Vermont. A few years ago, she got into a sport called gravel racing. In about 3 short years, she became one of the best in the world at it. On May 11th, 2022, at 9:15 p.m. here in Austin, Texas, the last thing Mo did on this earth
And when he says Mo, that's the victim.
was scream in terror. And you hear those screams. There's a surveillance camera with an audio portion to it. We'll play that for you. And you'll hear those screams. Those screams are followed by 2 gunshots. One to the front of the head, one to the side of the head that hits the index finger as it passes. You won't hear any more screams out there. 45 seconds. And we intend to prove to you, as you put this in that chair, that after that 4 or 5 seconds silence, Kaitlin Armstrong stood over Mo Wilson and put a 3rd shot right in Mo Wilson's heart. 9:15 p.m. Good morning. My name is Rick Jones. I represent the state of Texas. Along with my co-counsel, Mr. Gonzalez, Stewart, Ms. Jenny Sullivan.
So sorry, horrible audio. Also, I'm wondering if the defense is even gonna. No, they had like 2 sentences at the end. She didn't do it. That's it. I'm surprised they even spoke, because sometimes when it's so open and shut, like it's so like, everybody has to have their day and stuff, but when there's like everything's just so laid out plain, sometimes these defense attorneys won't even speak. They won't even say shit. Well, we'll just plead our case.
Mr. Rob Drummer, who will join us at some point. We intend to present to you approximately 40 witnesses from his witness chair to give you evidence over the next 4 to 5 days. We're going to start by giving you information about 3 key players. Number 1, we know this. 25-year-old college grad of Vermont, up-and-coming pro gravel racer. Second key player, college Smith, who's a professional gravel racer who lives right here in Austin, Texas. The third player is Kaitlin Armstrong, the defendant, who lived with Colin. They had an on-again, off-again romantic relationship, and it was business partner. They had a business of real estate business, refurbishing trailers. Through these witnesses, we're going to give you background on Colin and Kaitlin's relationship. They met in October of 2019 and began a romantic relationship in October 2019. You heard from Colin that at some point in 2021, around the freeze, she moved in with Colin. You hear that as a result of that business, they shared an iPad and a laptop that was connected to Colin's phone, so his iMessages from his phone was available on those documents, on those 2 apparatuses. And you'll hear from Colin that the relationship was on again, off again, and you will hear that when the relationship was off, they both dated other people, but they continued to live together.
Oh, so they're both dating other people. Why should go get crazy?
And then we'll give you some more background on Colin.
Colin's the boyfriend or ex-boyfriend.
During one of the off-again periods in October of 2021, Colin began dating a romantic relationship with Mo Wilson. While he was Kaitlin's still living together. Colin's going to tell you that he had to confront Kaitlin Armstrong, communicating, calling Mo Wilson on her cell phone. And you'll even see cell phone data. Colin is going back and forth with Kaitlin about calling Mo Wilson. And he sends her a text that says, WTF, with regard to her calling Mo Wilson. And you'll hear Colin tell you that he changed Mo Wilson's name to Christine Walls in his cell phone.
Should change it to a guy.
In an attempt to secret his communication with Mo Wilson. Because he'll tell you that after they dated, they remained friends. And you'll hear background on Kaitlin Armstrong as well. One of the things you'll hear is she was not happy with this relationship Colin still communicated with Mo Wilson after their romantic relationship ended. You'll hear testimony from this from some of Kaitlin Armstrong's friends. And you'll hear that not only did she share that iPad and laptop with Colin, but she had access to his text messages through iMessages.
Let me see, hold on real quick, if News Nation has better audio. Okay.
In cause number.
Oh my God. Let's do that. Oh, yes. Oh, God. Yes. Lord Almighty. That sounds better. Let's see. I think so, huh?
That in January,
Yeah, it's better. It's worse visuals, I guess. Worse visual, but better audio. All right, let's do that. I'd rather be able to hear than, I guess.
2022,
A little,
4 months
a little better.
with his murder, Kaitlin Armstrong goes to the range, a gun range in South Austin, at 35 and Swallow. She buys 50 rounds of ammo. You'll see the receipt from the ammo.
I mean, not the best. Let's see. Maybe not that better, but
And you'll see pictures on her cell phone of her practicing
so freaking bad. I'm glad we didn't. I guess there's no better that there's no trial on this.
that weapon. 6 solid P365 9mm. 4 months before Mo Wilson was killed. And then we'll give you some more background before the murder that around the May 2nd, 2022 area, time frame, Colin Strickland left Austin in late April, and he was gone for about 30 days. He was in California. There was a bike gravel race in San Diego area. Colin will testify that during that late April, early May 2nd deadline, that his communication with Mo began to ramp up. Otherwise, they started to communicate a little bit more than they had in the past. And during this time period, when Colin's out on the road in California, texting Mo more, you would learn from his witness chair that Kaitlin Armstrong is back home in Austin near that laptop and that iPad that has access through iMessages to his information.
Oh, so he's saying while he was on this Cali trip, she's at home in Austin going through his, I don't know what this is, laptop, whatever, because you can access, if it's like a MacBook, you can have access to all the like text messages. Boy, slipped up. You can have access to all the messages and stuff via the laptop, contacts, stuff like that.
Now, some very important things happened on May 2nd. A couple of things. On May 2nd, and you'll learn some cell data information, cell phone records. Kaitlin Armstrong logged in to Colin Strickland's Gmail account and Instagram from her phone.
What? Does she have the passwords?
Oh, she had access to his information.
Oh. I'm not getting my passwords.
And another important thing happened on May 2nd. Kaitlin Armstrong, on her phone, you will get the record, look up Mo Wilson on her phone. And she looked up pictures of Mo Wilson on her phone on May 2nd, 9 days before Mo was killed.
Sounds
And you'll
like
learn that Colin leaves California and goes to Arizona, to Tucson, I believe. And that Kaitlin decides to fly to Arizona after looking up Mo on May 2nd. She gets to Arizona, and her and Colin drive back. They arrived back in Austin on May 9th. Colin and Kaitlin from Arizona, they drive back, make stops along where they arrive back on May 9th. And one of the things that Kaitlin Armstrong does on May 9th, 2 days before Mo Wilson's killed.
Joining us now.
Oops, sorry.
On an app called Strong. Strava app.
Oh, and it froze?
Is an app that allows you to look at a person's activity. Now, you learn from the Strava people that the Strava app has a safety feature. You can put the safety feature on. When you're leaving home, you can post your ride through the mountains. But put the safety feature on, starts a few blocks from your home. But if you don't put the safety feature on, it gives a pretty close general location of where you begin your ride and where you end your ride. And you'll learn from the testimony from the witness chair that when Mo Wilson was in Austin, she did not activate her safety feature. She posted ride, you can see where it began and where it ended. Now on May 9th, she's looking up her on Strava. She was moving her on the second. Now, Mo's not here yet, because on May 10th, the very next day, as she's looking up, Mo shows up in Austin for a gravel locals race in Hyco, Texas. It's a 157-mile race. She was favored to win. She didn't stay in a hotel. She stayed with a friend, Kaitlin Cash. We call her Cash. Cash stayed in a garage apartment at 1708B Maple Drive. 1708, she stayed in B Road behind the house. It's in East Austin, right off the MLK. That's where she stayed, and she arrived on the 10th. Now, we'll give you some background about what Kate was doing on the 10th. Now, she looked up on the 9th, and on the 10th, May 10th, the day that Mo Wilson arrived in Austin, you'll hear testimony that Kaitlin Armstrong looked up Mo on Strava 4 different times.
On what? What was the thing?
Looked up Mo on Strava 4 different times. This is the day before Mo was killed. 4 times. And Strava pretty much tells where you are. And we're going to go to May 11th.
What if Kaitlin Armstrong got a job? She got a lot of time, too.
The day Mo Wilson was murdered. Now, during that day, Colin and Mo began to text each other. And you'll see those text messages. They're trying to hook up together. They go back and forth about what time, where we're going to go, and things like that. You'll see those text messages. And Colin will tell you that later on that day, 3 o'clock range, he leaves on his motorcycle to go to the dentist. And while he's out at the dentist visit, him and Mo finalized their plans to hook up for the evening and go to a D-Day food. And the word spot.
Let me check something real quick. I'm just trying multiple things to get better audio.
Little small flight of stairs.
Oh my God.
At Cash's garage
I
apartment.
think I found a better one. 30 minutes and 29.
On the floor.
I think that's even better. Holy crap. It's like hard to find a decent one. I should have did that beforehand. I think this one has better audio. 30 to 29.
Police interviewed Colin.
It's better.
Confirms his story. He tells them all the things you're going to hear about. I picked her up. I was on a motorcycle. Deep Eddy, Food Burger, they canvass and get video to prove that stuff eventually. Now, the police also sent somebody to Colin's house for an investigation. To sit on the house and watch that house while they were interviewing Colin, the main police officer. once the detective learned about the black Jeep in the alley, he asked Colin about the black Jeep. Colin would testify, he told him that's her Jeep. She owned it, she drives it. I'm not saying I've never driven it, okay, but I wasn't driving it that day. I was on my motorcycle. So now, Kaitlin Armstrong becomes the person of interest as well, because they're concerned about why that Jeep was at 1708 Macon at 8:37 p.m. Now, the police go to get Kaitlin Armstrong. They look her up. They find that she got some Class B warrant. They pick her up and they bring her in. And you'll see, when you hear from Detective Connor, who has her in the room talking to her. And apparently, Detective Connor would tell her, yeah, that's some kind of mistake with this woman. The birthday is mixed up or something. Not sure it's you. We're going to release you. You can go. You're free to go. At the same time, the police have got a search warrant to search the house. Now, you'll see that when Kaitlin is in that room with Detective Connor, she says, I want to leave. But she doesn't get up to leave. You'll see the video. Continue to stay there. Detective Connor continues to tell her more about it and answer her questions. I just want to hear your side of the story. Can you tell me why your Jeep is at the scene of this murder? Doesn't say anything. Does say something like, I didn't know how to do that. Same girl she'd been searching on May 2nd, May 9th, May 10th. And eventually, they do release her from the police station that day. But here's no explanation why the Jeep was here.
The problem is he's like walking all over the place and walking away from the mic. So,
Now, from that search warrant at Colin and Caitlin's home, they find two things that are very important to this case. Two guns. One, Smith, it's Colin's gun. They find a 9mm 6-hour P365 that belonged to Kaitlin Armstrong. That gun is later identified through ballistics as a firearm that was used to kill Mo Wilson. Now, the day after this interview, May 13th, some important things happened. You'll see Kaitlin Armstrong on a video camera at CarMax in South Austin, near their home. She goes to CarMax and she sells her Jeep for $12,000.
oh,
You'll see a video for in CarMax.
made it. So
On that same day, you'll see an Uber receipt. She rides an Uber to Austin Bergstrom Airport after she sold her car. And you'll also be presented evidence. Something wrong with it. Some prepaid music. The next day, she rode to Uber's airport on the 13th, but the next day on May 14th, she flies from Austin to Houston and from Houston to New York City. You'll see the flight receipts. And you'll learn that on May 18th, a few days later, and you'll also learn that she has a sister, Kaitlin Armstrong, that lived in New York, New Jersey area. On May 18th, you'll be presented testimony of her going online, using her credit card, her email, buying a plane ticket to Costa Rica with her sister's name listed as the passenger on May 18th. And on that same day, she flies to Costa Rica using her sister Kaitlin Armstrong's passport. She goes to Costa Rica and assumes a different identity. And on June 22nd, while in Costa Rica, she has plastic surgery. You'll see the medical record of Dr. Padilla. She spends $6,425 to change her appearance. You'll also see before and after photos in those medical records. That's on June 22nd. A few days later, on June 29th, the U.S. Marshals locate Kaitlin Armstrong in Costa Rica. Have no jurisdiction, notify the local authorities. Get together, they work it out. And a few days after June 29th, Kaitlin Armstrong is returned to the United States. Now, I want to backtrack a little bit and tell you a little about the cell phone data. Cell phone data can include calls, text messages, and also location information. It can tell who you call, who you text, and where you are. Let's talk about Colin's cell phone data. You can see those text messages I told you about between the two. You'll see him traveling on a cell phone location to pick her up. You'll see him traveling to Bloomberg. Okay? You'll see him traveling from Bloomberg. You'll see him leaving the scene at 8:35, dropping her off, and you'll see him stop and make that text message at 8:38 through the cell phone records. You'll see that 9 o'clock phone call, last 8 minutes, and you'll see that 9:21 text, and you'll be able to see from the cell phone expert that he's way at home at 9:15 when those shots rang out. You'll be able to tell it from the cell data. So we look at Mo Wilson's cell data. You'll be able to see that ride she took, the last ride of her life. At 1:23, 4:23 p.m. on 9/11. Folks in the you can see the cell phone. You see it. Okay, see and read that text message. 4:49 p.m. on 9/11. See 17:08. You see cell data. And you'll see her location to help you verify what time she got home. You got Cash's information saying the door's open 8:36. You'll be able to look at the cell data to see if it also says she got home at 8:36. You'll be able to see that to verify. You'll also see that from 8:37 to 9:13, she was on her phone in an apartment. And you'll even see evidence afterwards that that's the front door, here's a couch. After she's murdered, you'll see that cell phone on that couch plugged into a white charger right there, right by the door. You hear this very small apartment. She was a few feet away to the bathroom. But at 9:13, That cell phone is right there when she sent that last message, right by that front door. And you'll see that last text that she sent your podcast. 2 minutes before she did. You'll see Kaitlin Armstrong cell down. These cell phone people tell you they can get your stuff from your cell phone, unlock your cell phone through the cloud, all kind of ways. You'll see her cell phone and a GPS that I'm going to tell you about that's in her Jeep. You'll see them traveling every that day, side by side, so you can verify the accuracy of it. And you'll also see from the cell phone people that at 7:30 p.m., 7:30 p.m. on May 11th, turn the cell phone off. Turn it off. By the way, June 29th, U.S. Marshals gathered in Costa Rica. Everybody wipe their cell phone on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
That's what cell phone evidence can tell you. And also, you'll see that at 9:55, approximately 35 minutes or so, after you hear that scream on that audio in the Ring camera, her cell phone is turned back on. And it's at her house in South Austin. And you'll see location data for that cell phone. And you'll learn that on May 27th, while in Costa Rica, she searched her name from her cell phone, news articles, things about her arrest, things about her being a fugitive. You'll see that through the cell phone data, people. She's looking at all this and reading this stuff, and putting it up on her phone while she's in Costa Rica on May 27th. After the murder, but before the plastic surgery, you see her Googling this warrants for her arrest in Costa Rica. Now, I told you the police was canvassing for video surveillance. You'll see one video surveillance camera of Colin leaving that motorcycle at 8:36 once he dropped Mo off at Cass's apartment. They got him one time on video camera. Now, there's 4 video surveillance cameras that captures Kaitlin Armstrong circling Cash's house at 17:08 May for about an hour before the murder. It's circling. One camera catches it 3 or 4 times. He's passing up down the street on that black Jeep that she sold at CarMax. Now, one of them videos that catches her in the front of the house, in the back of the house, they have cameras on both sides, front and back of the house. That's the camera that catches her along that fence at 8:36. 1 minute after. No. On May 11th. Now, you will find that many cars, and this Jeep here had an infotainment center. And within that infotainment center, there's GPS. You hear that Kaitlin Armstrong Jeep had an infotainment center with a GPS system in it. GPS shows time and location data. You'll see an animation of her driving down Lamar with the dots. Starting about 6 p.m. It's tracking her all over the city, North Austin, driving around. You'll see her circling block around the house. And you'll see the experts look at the video ring time, GPS on the Jeep time to verify the accuracy. For example, GPS says she's on this street, the ring can't see this picture. See that side by side. Now, GPS have what they call trip logs. Think about these trip logs. Trip log cuts off, keep it on. The car's on. You hear about trip log 99, trip log 100. Trip log 99 stops at 8:40 p.m. GPS location puts Kaitlin Armstrong Jeep in an alley about 15, 20 yards from those stairs that Mo Wilson went up at 8:36. GPS guy will testify that at 9:17 p.m., 2 minutes after those fatal shots, trip log 100 starts. That Jeep starts up and starts to move. 2 minutes later, just within 20 yards from the stairs where the Jeep is parked. It's parked up at 8:40, no activity, turned off. 2 minutes after the murder, that Jeep is back home and it's gone. And one of the things about this Jeep is we follow this Jeep on GPS all the way to the home in South Austin. You see that it stops by an apartment complex into a dumpster on the way home. Stops by the dumpster for a minute. The GPS shows the car is moving. When it stops, miles per hour, how fast it's going, it's not moving at all. You see her go to that dumpster by the apartment complex, stop for a few minutes, and you're going to see her drive off home, cut that Jeep off, and trip log 100 is going to end. Right around 9:55 p.m., same time, that phone pops back on at her home. Now, you're going to hear from a ballistics tool mark expert. There were 3 shell casings and 3 projectiles recovered at the scene. One of the projectiles was too mangled to compare. So he had 3 shell casings, 2 projectiles to use for comparison. So they got those 2 guns that they got from the search warrant. Colin's gun and Kaitlin's 6-hour P365 9mm. They test fired those guns and compared those test fires casings to those 5 found at the scene. From that chair, the ballistics guy is going to tell you Colin's gun was excluded. Kaitlin's gun were identified. The results will show that those casings, test casings, were identified as being the same as fired from that gun. That's what he's going to testify. But that 6-hour P365 9mm, the same gun fired those casings. The 1785. Then you're also going to hear from DNA experts. Now, you hear that they swabbed DNA from Mo Wilson's bike, which they found in some weeds, maybe 10 yards from the bottom of those stairs, cut 4 or 5 yards from where that car was parked at 8:40, and some bamboo weed. They found her bike. You will find that the bike weighs about 5 or 6 pounds. You can pick it up with one hand. you'll find that it's a very expensive bike, thousands of dollars. And you remember that earlier, she was riding the bike wonderful. Now, the DNA expert will tell you that she took DNA from Mo Wilson, Kaitlin Armstrong, and Colin Strickson to compare to the DNA on that bike. Now, they found DNA on the handlebars. Now, the DNA expert will tell you that they don't say that's the person. They got likelihood ratios. Uninformative, 5 categories. Uninformative with the lowest, strong, and very strong likelihood. That's how they keep it down. You will find, or she'll testify, that the DNA on the handlebars was a very strong likelihood that the DNA on the handlebars included DNA from Kaitlin Armstrong. Strong. And the DNA expert will testify that with regards to the DNA on the seat of the bike, that there's a very strong likelihood that the DNA on the seat of the bike included DNA from Kaitlin Armstrong. Very strong, highest category here. And on October 11th, 2023, 19 days before this trial began, you're going to hear testimony that Kaitlin Armstrong escaped from the Travis County Jail. And was apprehended about a mile down the road. 19 days before this trial. When we present this evidence to you through these 40 witnesses here, we're going to ask you to find Kaitlin Armstrong guilty of murdering Mo Wilson. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, let's see what the defense has. I guess I'm kind of glad we didn't cover this trial. Maybe, I don't know. Audio's so
why
bad.
are we here? Why are we here? You heard the state get up and tell you this is an open and shut case, right? There's DNA, ballistics, GPS evidence. The state's certainly convinced. That's all very important. So why are we here? You may already have your mind made up.
I do.
I know Detective Richard Spittler with the Austin Police Department certainly did, just hours into his investigation. So why are we here? We are here because the state's opinion of what the evidence is and the Austin Police Department's opinion of what the evidence isn't important. You are the most important people in this room. It is your opinion of the evidence that we are here for. That's why we're here. Reasonable doubt. I want to talk to you about reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt is doubt that is supported.
Jeff, he's making arguments about the weight of the evidence. He's not getting a roadmap.
But he mad.
I plan to, Your Honor. Reasonable doubt is doubt that is supported by reason and common sense. And I expect at the end of this trial that we will be talking about doubt, what that is. But for purposes of my remarks to you this morning, I want to talk to you about reason and common sense. Now, reason...
Because once again, that's not a roadmap for evidence. That's argument.
Sit down.
Judge, can we approach?
Oh, they got a problem. Oh, no. Yes, they have evidence. They have GPS. They have cell phone data. But that's their opinion. Yes, they have evidence. GPS data, DNA, blood, traveling, running, fleeing the country, getting cosmetic surgery, stealing her sister's ID and passport. Yes. But did she do it? Huh? She was stalking both of them for months, years. Search data. But did she do it? Reasonable doubt.
Now, the state just discussed with you what you will see, what you will hear about, what you will hear throughout the course of this trial. But I want to talk to you about what you didn't hear about. What you didn't hear about. You didn't hear that not one witness saw Kaitlin Armstrong allegedly commit this murder. Not one. Because there isn't one. You didn't hear.
Because I'm not objecting again. He's supposed to be presenting the evidence over that he's going to show, not evidence that he's not going to show. Once again, this is argument.
If the information from the argument is that the evidence that you open statement that you stated in open statement states one thing, and he's pointing out what that evidence does not show, that would be permissible. But we were limited to that and not argument as to the facts of the case or why it's
Yeah, he's not even facing the judge. He got his like back turned and she's just waiting for this.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He's like, yeah, wasted my time.
You won't hear, and you didn't hear, about any camera footage showing Kaitlin Armstrong at the scene of this shooting. Despite there being tons of cameras in the area, and you heard opening statements about all the cameras that were in the immediate vicinity of the scene of that shooting, not one captures Kaitlin Armstrong at that scene.
Oh.
Because there isn't any. You did not hear about any direct evidence showing Kaitlin Armstrong is responsible for this crime, because there isn't any.
Oh.
Now you will hear at the time Kaitlin left Austin to go to New York and then to Costa Rica, she would have no reason to know about any warrant that was present in this case. That the Austin Police Department told her she was free to go. She was free to go. That's what you will hear. You will hear that Kate is passionate about traveling. She's passionate about yoga. And you're going to hear that she was totally comfortable traveling to far-off locations that intrigued her at the drop of a hat, on a moment's notice.
Well, that's why she did it. That's why she left.
That's what you'll hear. And you'll hear in the days following the shooting, weird things were happening to Kate at her home. Documented things. Things that would cause a reasonable person to fear for their safety. And that ultimately led to her decision to leave Austin. And you're going to hear people among us who are weak to begin with, who are troubled to begin with, who are damaged to begin with, are more likely to fall into that kind of state of reaction, an attempt to retreat. So let's talk about some of the witnesses that you may hear about over the course of this trial. Detective Richard Spidler. Now, he's the detective who, prior to the investigation of this case, had never served as a lead detective in a murder investigation. Not one.
Throw him under the bus.
But I'm sure he did very well in his exams.
Oh.
You're also going to hear from Detective Katie Conley. Now, she's the detective that will tell you she's never met a defendant she couldn't crack in an interrogation, even if they invoke their rights multiple times throughout the conversation. Asked for their lawyer multiple times throughout the conversation. Asked to leave multiple times throughout the conversation. Now, the state is going to attempt to tie Miss Armstrong to this shooting through purported forensic science.
Oh.
And you'll hear from the DNA analyst
pseudoscience
that examined some items that were collected in this case. and you will hear from a ballistic technician who will tell you he eyeballed some shell casings that were submitted in this case and determined that they were not inconsistent with a firearm that was taken from the home of Kate and Colin.
Yeah, throw a boyfriend on the bus too. Fuck it.
But you will also hear from experts. And I want you to listen when those experts tell you DNA reporting can mean very little. And ballistic science isn't a science at all.
Oh shit! You said ballistic science. What? He might be right though. I don't know.
Highly regarded by members of the general scientific.
I thought they did deem that accurate or not. Is it just like an estimate or something? I don't know. I thought ballistics was pretty. I thought they had those bullets leave like a special. Each bullet that comes from a gun or a gun that fires has like a special type of signature or something. Or is there space for inaccuracy? He just, I don't know.
Members of the general scientific.
I'm going to object to that. There's no evidence that it's not highly regarded by the general science community just because you can find one or two people to say that.
Judge, these are opening remarks. This is what we expect the evidence to show.
Yeah, this is opening, man. It's Wild Wild West. You're over here trying to censor me and shit.
This is proper argument. Thank you.
I say what the hell I want to say.
Before that objection was overruled, we were talking about ballistic science and how that is far from the gold standard that you see it depicted as on TV. Now, the states and the officers with the Austin Police Department and the scientists that they employ, they were so desperate.
This guy's something else, bro. Every time they talk about science and facts, he's like, oh shit.
To keep Kaitlin Armstrong in their crosshairs, that they had tunnel vision and jumped to conclusions. And at the end of this evidence, you will be left with the conclusion that the state's purported forensic science is inaccurate, is unreliable, and unscientific. Now, words and phrases have the meaning that we give them. Words and phrases are meaningless unless jurors like you draw a hard line in the sand. Phrases like presumption of innocence.
Once again, he's making an argument.
Proof beyond any reasonable doubt.
Judge, once again, he's making an argument.
Judge, this is the burden of proof. If the state is apprehensive about the jury hearing about...
I'm apprehensive about him not giving a roadmap and giving an argument at open statement. That's what I'm apprehensive about.
Yo.
4 words, I don't know where you're going from there, so I'll allow you to finish your sentence to see if it is part of the statement.
I just want to hear it. I don't even know what to say. Oh shit.
Proof beyond any reasonable doubt.
Judge, once again, he's making an argument.
Judge, this is the burden of proof. If the state is apprehensive about the jury hearing about...
I'm apprehensive about him not giving a roadmap and giving an argument at open statement. That's what I'm apprehensive about.
You said 4 words, I don't know where you're going from there, so I'll allow you to finish your sentence to see if it is
Yeah, he can't even finish the sentence.
part of the statement.
Thank you.
The boy lit.
You must approach the task of your evaluation of the evidence with the willingness to think that which I know as a thought, as a person, as a human, know to be the most difficult words to say. I don't know. I don't know. And I want you to approach that task.
Judge, once again, he's talking about how the jury weighs evidence. He's not talking about the foundation of what he's laying, what he expects to prove.
Judge, this is appropriate argument. Your Honor? I didn't hear the first ruling.
I just said this is opening statement. I haven't made a ruling, but I would ask again that you could find your remarks to the appropriate statements for this juncture of the trial.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't know. At the end of the evidence, that is your conclusion. We don't know. the appropriate verdict is not guilty. And as you approach that jury room, if that is your conclusion, we don't know, not for sure, then the appropriate verdict is not guilty. The state has a job to do.
You pissed.
We have a job to do. And you stand between us. And we stand.
Judge, that's not opening statement.
Objection sustained.
With Kaitlin Armstrong, a woman who is trapped in a nightmare of circumstantial evidence.
That's not opening statement.
Judge,
That's
I'm
argument.
discussing the evidence. And that it
You're
is
discussing her
circumstantial.
state of mind. That's not evidence.
The statement is sustained.
Okay. We have an awesome responsibility. Yours is more awesome.
Good.
And at the end of the evidence, you will be left with the conclusion that the state has fallen short of the incredibly high burden that they have willingly accepted in choosing to accuse this woman of a very serious crime.
It does sound like he's doing closing, though. It does kind of sound like it.
You had your chance. You could have been excused on Monday.
Judge, that's not opening statement.
Objection sustained.
Yeah, the co-reporter, her face, right? Her face is like sinking into itself.
But she told us she was be fair.
That's the same line of question. It's not opening statement.
Are we concluding this case?
I'm trying to wrap it up, Your Honor.
And you're not going to open the statement.
Let's wrap it up appropriately as far as what the evidence from your portion of the trial or what you intend to show or think will be shown to the jury.
I'm trying to get there, Your Honor. Despite
Without
interruptions.
argument. Let's do it
Yes.
without argument.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor. At the end of this case, your responsibility is more awesome. And you will have the conclusion that the state has fallen short of its burden.
Judge, once again, every time you sustain, he gets up and says the same thing. He's making arguments about how they weigh the evidence at the end of the trial.
Judge,
That's not opening statement.
it is the burden of proof, Your Honor, that the jury has in this case. If the state is apprehensive about the burden of proof that they've accepted,
There's a time and place to talk about the burden of proof, and it's not opening statement.
Let me stop both. If there are no further statements about what the evidence is going to show, then we can move on to the next portion of the trial. So we've heard that statement that you've made a few times now, so I would ask you if there's nothing else about the evidence.
there is, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh.
We trusted you then. And we trust that at the conclusion of this trial, when you look at the evidence, you will come to a just verdict. And that just verdict, we trust, will be a verdict of not guilty.
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury
That's it.
will take I'll say a 15-minute break. before
Damn,
we
bro.
start the testimony of the case.
That dude was hot. He was pissed. It did kind of sound like he was making a closing argument type of thing. I kind of understand what he was saying. It's as if they've already seen the evidence, and he's like, well, they didn't prove it. But how can they prove they haven't even seen it? Good. I don't know. If the trial, so again, for the people that are watching that didn't hear me at the beginning, they're not streaming the entire trial. We're only going to be able to see the opening and the closing, which maybe, I don't know if maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. And I think the sentencing or verdict. I mean, if the trial had these attorneys fighting back and forth the entire time, I'd want to see it. That'd be just kind of, I don't know. That'd be interesting. But, I don't know. And this guy's more loud spoken, the defense attorney, because it seems like I had no problem hearing him. I kind of had a harder time hearing the prosecution, the state. I don't know. I guess that's it for now. I just kind of want to check that out. Armstrong case. I guess there's not that much interest in the case, or at least not on this channel. Selena says, if opening statement is this hostile, I can imagine how the whole trial will be. I know. I'd like to see a little trial where the attorneys are going back and forth, fighting it out. No, I don't know if it's going to be taped or anything. The cameras are, I believe, are only allowed for the opening and closing. I think. I'm not sure why, but I guess that's what they decided. By the way, for anybody that's heard about this story, just to give a quick little update for anybody that's heard of this thing, there's video footage of this. I can't even play it because it's so like. But there was this Florida teen. It was Florida, right? There was this Florida teen who beat a female teacher unconscious after his Nintendo Switch video was confiscated. Now, I think this kid had all kinds of behavioral problems. I believe. I vaguely remember reading an article about it. I don't even know if he was autistic or something. I don't think this kid should have been in that regular school, whatever he was going to. But anyway, they confiscated his Nintendo Switch. The teacher did, so he beat the bricks out of this woman. I mean, she was unconscious and still kept continuing to like beat this teacher. And so he pleaded guilty to the crime, and now he faces up to 30 years behind bars. He hasn't gotten 30 years. He faces up to. I wonder if they're going to stream that sentencing. I'd be kind of curious to see that. Yeah, huge kid. I forgot how tall they said he was. 6 feet, 7 feet. I don't know. It's a huge kid. Probably not 7 feet, right? It's a little bit. But yeah, he beat the hell out of this teacher. Somebody made an interesting post here. He beats up a teacher equals 30 years. They protest at the Capitol equals 20 years, which that's really variable. I've seen people get that or less, but murder someone get 10 years or less, which sometimes that seems kind of accurate. Tax evasion, prostitutes, and drugs equals at the White House model son. Oh, man. I don't know. Well, we'll have to see. I'm kind of curious what this teen is going to get sentenced for. How many years they'll give him. Florida teen who beat female teacher unconscious. I'll have to look more into that. Damn, this one article called him a hulking Florida teen. Damn, bro. Hulking Florida teen. Is there a thing we could watch? Pleaded guilty. Is there like a little video? I wonder if I can maybe we can do that sometime. Brendan Dappa. Or if there's like a thing of him in the court. That video of him beating this teacher. I'm surprised they even let you see this on YouTube. Damn, this one has 2 discretionary warnings. Damn, that kid like tossed her too. He literally like ran into her. I'll just show the part where he bulldozes her, but I'm not going to show him beating her. But he literally like bulldozes into her. Like he just boosh like the Hulk. It's like tackles her ass down like some animal shit. Sometimes those kids too, though, they don't know their own strength, especially after undergoing a court-ordered health. Oh, so interesting. After undergoing a court-ordered mental health evaluation, a judge declared Brendan competent to stand trial months after he was charged. But now he's pleaded guilty, though. Ooh. What is this? Check your shit out.
This is a civil proceeding, not a criminal proceeding. It is for a no contact order. PS2 today's final hearing.
Judge, I'm in receipt of a petition. We're not going to contest the relief that's granted.
Consent to the entry of the order, and it'll be entered until.
Yo, he's 6'6". Wow. Holy crap.
Further order the court. It's separate from the criminal case. You don't have to worry about keeping up with both cases. But as far as this proceeding, this order, excuse me, if you could just hang on an actual copy of it.
Thank you.
And so this kid's attorney, when I say kid, I think he's 17. Is he 17? His attorney stressed that he has a mental condition, though it doesn't seem like they said what. I mean, that's the whole conversation, too, we had about these mental institutions. Maybe they need to bring that back.
Does this make you feel a little bit more
teacher.
safer, if you will?
Somewhat, yes. I just want to make sure this doesn't ever happen to anybody else ever again. Yes.
Can you share with us just a little bit about your recovery, how you're feeling, that kind of thing?
It's slow. Every day is just a new day.
Being in there, was that kind of frightening, even though you're surrounded by a lot of police and such, but seeing
It'd
him?
be frightening for anybody, yes.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Thank you, sweet.
What do you think would be an appropriate punishment for him?
I can't even.
Yeah, don't answer that because they're gonna try to get your ass, call you racist and all kinds of shit. They were already mad at her because I forgot where it was. They were like upset that like she wouldn't try to help him get a lesser sentence. Why? Why would she do that?
Can't even. Yeah. I couldn't even.
Don't fall into that trap.
Guess on that one. I won't even.
Don't do it. Don't do it. They cancel your ass.
Clarify, you did not take his game away.
No.
Oh, she didn't take. Oh, it wasn't even her.
No device taken away. Not at all. It was the teacher that was threatening to not have it being utilized at school. I had nothing to do with it.
Damn, so what? She's just a random attack? But she did do a GoFundMe. I think she raised quite a bit of money on the GoFundMe. The teen had 3 prior battery arrests, so he's attacked other people before he attacked this person. He was also, Flagler Live also reported that Depa was involved in a jail fight. Depa reportedly threatened to kill the educator after being taken into custody. Holy crap. So yeah, after he got arrested, he's like, I'm going to kill you. Wow. Holy crap. Nidic, who's she's supposed to testify at his sentencing. Please, let's keep an eye on that because I want to see that. I'm very curious to see what's going to be the outcome of that. And as maybe I don't know if the attorney, they're going to try to bring up what is his mental health problem that he has. Damn, even Scott calling it hulking teen. 270 pounds. Wow. Appearing in court Monday, Depa, who is reportedly autistic, copped to the crime. Okay. Maybe they just need to like have him in a facility or something. I don't know. Oh, thanks, Purple. Appreciate that. He is so dangerous to society that, you know, unfortunately, I mean, no, he didn't kill her. She was just beat unconscious. And then apparently he's attacked multiple other people. Yeah, I think he is being charged as an adult. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it the other day. I don't know if they should bring the asylums back. It's like green, or it's kind of green, like a teal, or I don't know, what do they call it? Sea green or something? I don't know. The lemon plants, by the way, are doing horrible. And Maddie's plant thing died over here. I had it outside, and something about that balcony. I don't know. The plants don't like it out. I don't know if it's like too hot and dry and like. Or that's not hot. It's humid out there. There's something about that balcony. They just don't like it out there. Anytime I put something out there, it just withers. Turquoise. Maybe I look at turquoise. So, all right. I guess I'm going to head out for now. I think later on the second channel, I want to show some interesting clips that I found. I have to edit one because one of them is kind of violent. There's a guy talking, but they show violent clips. and I don't want to show the violent part. Like they're literally showing somebody get like hit with a sledgehammer. Like they blur it out, but you can see the hammer. It's like someone have to edit that out. It's a little too much because it's not about the imagery; it's about what the person's saying. And there's a lot of interesting things that I've been seeing. So I think later I want to jump on and do that. And I need to start doing some more stuff here on the main regularly. I'm just not sure what. I know they were talking about those models, the California models, I think it was. They were talking about the California models. Sarah Boone, again, is delayed. For anybody that doesn't know, Sarah Boone, the suitcase murders, the lady that somehow lured this guy into a suitcase, locked him, and left him in there to die alive. That got pushed back again. There should be no surprise with that. Not only that, Richard Allen, his trial got pushed back again to like I think next year. I think like way next year because his attorneys got thrown out. That's why he needs a new attorney. So there's that. There was Britney Spears body cam that came out the other day too, or yeah, her like she was speeding or something. Might be interesting to watch maybe. That Charlie Adelson trial looks like it was interesting. I don't know if we missed out by not covering that, but seems like that was actually, well, it seems like a somewhat interesting trial, I guess. Yeah. Maybe that's what it is, Marie. I leave plans so like don't need direct cell night. Oh, Caribbean, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. I see your posts sometimes on Instagram. I hope you're doing good. Oh, and Cheeks, thank you for the 22 months. Holy crap. Michael Lawyers 2024. I'm just saying Kanye show because damn. Hope everyone is staying warm. Love y'all. Love y'all. Love you too, Malin Man. Love you too. I hope you're doing good. Hope the family's great. I think my mother's coming over in a while too. So hang out for a little bit. Laura Wade, thank you for the 6 months. Says hi, Mel Mods in chat. Harry Paul. Do a summary of the Maya trial. That trial's still going, isn't it? I think, isn't it going to like May? That's like a 3-4 month trial. How do I summarize that? Maya trial. Let me see. Still going. Day 28. Take care of Maya. I don't know. I like the thought of the real plants because I don't know. No, finishing the. Oh, they're done next week. Oh, okay. Yeah. Some of those demos are going all the way till May. I was like, December. I was like, hell no. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Love you. Bye. Bloop 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 bloop.